We are the Fashion Daddies.
Okay, Fashion Daddy Nick, we did it. We survived.
We're back
from the U.S. Figure Skating Championships
in St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri, 2026.
I can't believe we did it.
We did it.
We did it. That was a week, honey. I mean, when we landed, we were there for 5 days, and we landed back in L.A., got home at midnight, and I thought 18 bricks hit me.
Not when we landed back in LA, when we started on our first day.
Oh, yeah, that.
The first day ended, and I was like, wait, there's 4 more days.
Oh, yeah, now you're going back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I remember, like, wait, is this day 1?
This is day 1.
Because it felt like day 3.
Yeah.
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 Those were long bleep days. But good ones.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Part of the reason is because they were so packed with so much good skating and a sensory overload.
Yeah.
This was my 7th national championships.
Mm-hmm. You an old dad, old figure skating fan daddy.
Yeah. And this is spread out because I don't go over here. Yes, it was quite a championship. I mean, truly, I think what I've been reading too, it was one for the books. It reminded me of the original ones I went to in the Michelle Kwan.
When there were actual audience, sold out audiences.
This audience was enormous.
I'm getting the things right here in my arms. If you could see under my Versace jacket.
To the rafters.
Yeah.
With people, the highest level. So now in stadiums, they have this ingenious thing where when they cannot fill it, they have black curtains that block out the upper levels.
Right.
And honey,
so then it looks full.
Yeah.
But it ain't.
Those curtains
came off,
and they filled it.
Yeah, they did. You know when they say you have to skate to the nosebleed seats, honey, there were some nosebleed seats, and they were skating to those nosebleed seats, and those people in the nosebleeds were excited.
They were excited, and they stayed because sometimes you'll have people arrive late, because the skaters skate in order of their ranking,
right?
And so
from lowest to
highest.
So you gotta, I don't want to say put up with, you gotta watch the skates of the not so high ranking skaters.
Yes.
And a lot of people, even true skating fans, are like, girl, I'm gonna have lunch. I'll be in St. Louis, downtown St. Louis, getting my Caesar wrap. But no.
Not here. People showed up for everybody, and they stayed past the finish to watch the medal ceremonies.
Which, another good point, Daddy David, because we've been there where the stadium, the arena, whatever you call it, empties out. But no, like everybody say, they literally, well, at the last final day, they had to kick us out.
Yeah. And so, it was just so exciting, and not just for the skates, but for what we're here to talk about, which is the costumes.
The costumes, of course.
And it was so exciting for us to see them after talking about so many of them for weeks and weeks and weeks, to actually see them in person, and to really get a clear visual.
And sometimes you when you see the photos, the colors change.
Yes.
But when you're live, you see the live color. So something that we thought was navy blue was actually purple. Or vice versa.
Right.
So it's really interesting to see, those kind of details.
Yeah.
And we did this with our figure skating bestie, our friend Johnny, and he was next to us the whole time. We were the 3 figure skating amigos, honey, dressed to the nines each time. And he would always turn to us, and throughout the 18 hours that we were watching the skates. He's like, have you talked about that? Have you talked about that? Have you talked about that costume? Or like, yes, Johnny, yes, we've been there, done that.
Yeah, and there were times where I turned to Nick and I said, is that a new costume? Because it looked so different from the way it looked on the TV screen, and I had to double check and be like, no, they wore that. But the beading, the crystals, the colors, as you said, just hit you different when it's live. But there's
a but.
Were costume changes.
Yes, there were new costumes.
Yes, there were new costumes, which of course was so exciting for us.
Because this is the Oscars of figure skating. This is it. The Cannes Film Festival, the Oscars, the Golden Globes, all of it rolled up into one. And so it's like we loved, as fashion daddies, fashion designers, and lovers of costumes, of figure skating, that they changed. Yeah. You know, and they brought out some good ones. Yeah. Some new good ones.
And there were more new costumes than I definitely expected. I didn't expect as many new costumes as we got.
Right.
So let's get to some of them,
let's do it.
Yeah, and of course we want to talk about everybody. I mean, we would talk about probably each and every one. Yeah. But we're just going to hit some of the highlights because as we were going through it, we're like, this is overwhelming.
Yeah, this will go on as long as those days that we sat at the Enterprise Center. It's going on. Like, so please don't, I know you're like, why didn't you talk about Amber? Because we already did. Yeah. Why didn't you talk about Ilya's? We already, go back on our podcast.
Go back. I will say about Amber, because we weren't really going to touch on her, but that was the one where the color looked very different to me in person. It was much darker, much richer, and beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to start out with the biggest change of all changes.
Okay, let's do it.
Which was not just a costume change, but it was a whole free program, a whole free skate change.
Yeah, a whole free skate. And there was talk about it. There were rumors.
Yes.
And then it came true.
It came true.
And we loved also how we witnessed it because of the fact that we bought every ticket to everything and spent 18 hours a day there. We actually left our hotels very early to go see the practice sessions because, honey, we can't miss that. I mean, we paid for the tickets anyway. And there was the women's practice session, and all of a sudden we're like walking down the stairs and we see Alysa Liu and her brand new costume, and this is just a practice, so of course we went gaga over Gaga.
We got a hint that when we watched the press conference. So on top of it, we watched the press conferences when we got back to the hotel room. So after the short program,
you are telling everyone we literally sat in our beds and ate our dinner that we ordered, and we watched the press conferences.
We did, and she gave us not just a hint, but she told us after the short program in the press conference that she will be skating to Lady Gaga. Right. So of course we woke up, we rushed down there for that practice, and she had the new costume on by
Lisa McKinnon,
and we were excited. We literally met Lisa. You think we would have met her at this point, and we said that to her. Right. We met her for the first time
at the 2026 U.S. Nationals, and I literally, I caused a huge scene because I saw her hair, and I think she had the sunglasses. She was looking fierce. Of course. And I was like, that is Lisa. And I was like a stalker, and I'm like, Lisa McKinnon. And she's like, Nick. We finally met.
Yes. So it was wonderful. Yeah. But back to Alysa.
Okay.
The costume change.
Yes.
So she was skating to Lady Gaga.
Right. Which is a change from Donna Summer.
Yes.
MacArthur Park Suite, which was her free program that she's been skating to, and all of a sudden she's like, no, I'm going to do Lady Gaga, and a different costume.
So it was one shoulder. It had cutouts in the midriff, a fluttery skirt, loose panels that created movement, and the crystal mesh overlay was throughout, and it was finished off at the neck and the shoulders with sequin pieces and a chain detail at the neck.
Yes,
to give a little edge to it. It was inspired by Bad Romance, that silver rhinestone mesh outfit that she wears.
That Lady Gaga wears, right?
Yeah.
If you see the video, she's like this, and you see the sort of the mesh, the silver rhinestone mesh overlay outfit. So, and I brought that up to Lisa McKinnon, and she's like, yeah, you got it.
You got it. You did.
So that was the inspiration.
But then
there's more.
There's more, because truly what everybody was talking about was her hair.
Yeah.
Her halo hair, which she somehow had her hair done in between the short program and the free skate.
Well, there's some TikTok and Instagram, because I had to look for it. She went to a local hairstylist in St. Louis.
Wow.
And supported them.
Wow.
And had the stylist, the colorist, do that. The halo rings, because they were inspired by the Olympic rings.
Oh.
And do that to her hair. So I love the fact that she just, I wonder, I don't know. She did some research. She's like, I gotta find me a salon in St. Louis that knows how to do this. And they did it.
Yeah, because that could be daring to just, talk about a risk taker. But, the hair was, you got some people on the internet, some stans that were not thrilled.
Really? See, do tell, and make me, not, really? Who?
Some
that was so cute. It was just, come on now.
I think it was.
Come on now.
It was a quick sort of commentary, because she posted it before the skate. Okay. So, and this was even before, I think, the practice. It was that night, I think she posted, and you kind of couldn't really get a feel for what it was. But I think once everybody saw it, I hope more people. We know it caused a sensation when she had it down during the press conference, and she was fluttering it. It looked great, and it's so her. She is really pushing the sport.
This is no longer the era of the princess, of the skating princess. We love Gracie Gold. We love Michelle Kwan. But it's and that was then, and this is now. These women they want to be themselves. And they want to be the most truest of themselves. And to me, I love it. I love it as an old daddy. I love it that they're not going by the old rules, whether you like it or not.
And I think that Isabeau stated there's room for everybody, because she said, I want to be an ice princess. And truly, if there is an ice princess as far as looks and style, like of skating,
a perfect Disney princess version,
she is that. But when she gets with Amber and Alyssa,
she's sassy. The hoop earrings and the wig comes off,
as she says, keeping the hose on their toes.
Okay, David, I appreciate you so much, and I've been with you for so long, but I know you're trying to be cute.
You don't want to hear me say hose on their toes?
You did it again. No. But what I do want to hear is what were they saying? What were the comments?
Oh, I don't remember the exact comment. It was just like, why would she do that to her hair? Why would, why
move on. Next. Next.
No, she looked great. She had a great skate. The other comment, though, I will add, is why is she wearing silver? Isn't she going for the gold? But But she made a clever comment, and she says it's platinum, it's not silver, which is better than gold. So that was clever.
Right. And also that's the color, that's the costume that Lady Gaga's wearing in the video is actually silver. So
and you don't have to be so on the nose that it has to be gold. Now, with that being said, we have already learned,
we have an update.
She will be going back to the Donna Summer MacArthur Park free skate.
Correct. So she just tried this one out.
Yeah.
Just for, and she said intentionally, she said, I was really just doing it for the nationals.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because of course everybody started asking, oh, so are you going to do this at the Olympics? Are you doing this in Milano? She goes, no. Which is kind of funny. Because you want to tell the children why? Because of what I thought.
Why?
Oh my God. Because I actually liked the MacArthur Park Donna Summer skate and music just a little better than the Lady Gaga one. I just thought that it had highs and lows and it built up and I wanted to join her and it got me going. It really had a crescendo.
So are you saying she changed because of you?
Of course. Hello. Hello.
Said, why did she change?
Because as I was sitting there with all the other 40,000 fans, I shouted. I was like, this is cute, but go back to MacArthur Park, sweet Alyssa. And she heard me. Can you believe it?
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
But she is going back.
Yeah.
And we hear it will be a new costume. So that's exciting.
Gold? Will it be gold?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
The last Donna Summer MacArthur Park one
was gold.
Was gold. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll see.
We'll see. And it matches her new skunk hair. I mean, halo. Halo hair. Halo angel whatever. Rings hair.
Okay. So another new costume, which Nick and I loved.
Oh my God.
Was from Brady to Now.
Again, practice.
Yeah.
We were there at the practice and all of a sudden I spotted her and I was like, whoa, wait, Daddy David. That's another new costume.
And she skated to the Mission, as we know, and she previously wore a nude and dark brown copper costume that had an interesting neck and torso drape detail and a corset-like front detail also, which was by Astray Couture. And was this new one by?
I don't know. I tried to research it. I assume so because Astray Couture is sort of the design house for her Benoit Richaud.
Yes, exactly.
For her coaches and her training atelier.
I couldn't imagine it would be anybody else.
Right.
But
we could be wrong.
So this new one was a buttercream color, and it featured beautiful gold and copper sequin crystal embellishments. So in the film, The Mission, actor Jeremy Irons as Father Gabriel carries a gold-plated monstrance.
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Look it up, kids. Yes. Monstrance. That is correct. I had to look at it, and you don't even want to know what I put. I said, Catholic priest, gold, thingamajiggy. And I found it. That's why I love the internet.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is it, because you see it in her costume.
Yeah.
And it is a monstrance. By the way, it's a sacred, often ornate vessel, and it's used to display the consecrated host, the body of Christ, for adoration, symbolizing Jesus' presence for prayer and veneration outside of Mass. So priests, what is showing in the Mission is this Catholic priest in the Amazon jungle of South America, sort of bringing the body of Christ outside to all the native, to all the indigenous. The body of Christ is in that monstrance, which, by the way, is derived from the Latin word monstrare, which I know because monstrar in Espanol means to show. So it's like showing the body of Christ. I'm just kidding. Ooh. But anyway, that's the symbolism and the design that you see in her costume. That's it.
Yeah. And they did a great job because truly everything else was so simple.
Right.
And this beaded monstrance
I'm looking at it.
in the center of her chest.
Her chest, right here.
Just was the full impact.
Like sunburst.
Yes. And she always tends to wear a very high neck costume.
Yeah, she loves.
It's kind of her signature.
Yeah, the turtleneck.
And so it really just brought everything up. And then I saw from the back, there were the same crystal details right at the back of the neck. And it was so pretty. And it did have sort of a curved open back. Yeah. But she just has, in the last few seasons, just grown into not only her skating, but her look. She was always someone who gave a look.
Right.
Whatever it was, she was presented herself beautifully, always, from day one. Right. But the maturity she now brings to those looks and to her skates, she skated beautifully. And the costume just added to it because it was so refined. It was so elegant. It's the definition of, like, you do not need to add anything else. Yeah.
You know, it was clean, but then there was that detail, that bit of detail, and that's all you needed.
Yeah.
You know, it was design perfection.
Yeah, and you know, like we said, this is an era in women's figure skating that harkens back to the old school days of the top women. And sadly, there's only 3 spots, and she was 4th. But boy, she could have been on that podium and been going to the Olympics without a doubt with the way she skated. She is a fighter, and she gave everything.
Yeah, she did.
I mean, talk about walking away without any regrets.
Right.
I mean, she did it.
Yeah.
She did it all.
She's like, I did it. And I look cute.
And
on top of everything.
Okay, next costume is another woman, Sarah Everhart.
Another costume change.
Yes, and she has had quite a journey with this costume.
Yes, she has.
So this is for her free skate. It's the theme is from the movie Poor Things. This is the 3rd iteration of this costume. The first one,
tried it once, then tried it again, and then now we saw the 3rd version, or final, we hope.
The first version was very much almost a duplicate in many ways of the original costume that Emma Stone wore in the movie. So it had a brocade feel to the top. It obviously, I don't think it was brocade because that would have been too heavy, but it had the sort of feel of
it was like a stretched velvet jacquard. Yeah, but the silhouette of it all was so Victorian, so costumey. I mean, it literally had the Lego mutton sleeve, the puffy sleeve, and then the thin arm.
Little ruffled
front,
a very sweet trim, gold trim around the edge. Well, when she came back for the second version, it was completely stripped down. Just almost a modern interpretation of that first costume. The blue over blouse was a wrap, sort of a surplice,
like a surplice wrap, like a flash dance top.
Yes, out of chiffon, so it was sheer. And then the under white blouse, while it still had a high neck, was a halter. You could see through it. And then it had a yellow skirt that was also in a chiffon material. And we did like this. You know, we admired the fact that it was stripped down. It allowed just the essence of what the original costume was.
Yeah, because you could see it in the sleeves, even though the top was very simple, and it almost looked, I remember talking about it back then, that it looked like something ballet dancers wear when they're doing their practice pliés before the show at 2 p.m. And but yet it did still have that kind of puffy Lego mutton sleeve on it, but it definitely was more modern. It was more modern dance, as opposed to true costume, which was the first look. And so it almost went, she started at a 12. And then she went to
a 2.
I was just going to say that. A 2. And
Now she's like a 6.
Right.
She went about halfway back.
Yeah.
So what the third costume was,
which we saw here
at the Nationals. This is the one she wore for the Nationals, was a combination of the two. So it kept the light feel. It still had the yellow chiffon skirt, but she brought back that sort of burnout velvet blue brocade top, but instead of the Lego mutton sleeve, it was now a short sleeve.
Right.
And then she had matching blue gloves. It was all trimmed with that gold beaded trim. And then throughout, over the yellow skirt, the blue top, and the cream blouse were crystals added.
All crystals throughout, right.
Yeah, which really gave it, a more of a punch than you'd say the second one.
Right. I loved it. I loved it. It's like sometimes, you have to go through a journey.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a theme in that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And so she went through a costume journey, and finally, it took a while, and she finally landed on the one.
Yeah.
And this was the one, and I think it was great that it happened at the 2026 U.S. Nationals.
Yeah.
Because this was just the right one. It was a perfect happy medium between the two. Because even then, the simpler one, I was like, oh, it's too simple, but the other one is too muchy. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's it. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure she's going to 4 continents, so she'll get one more chance to wear it.
Oh, okay.
So her finale,
great,
so to speak.
Great.
Okay, so the next one is somebody who the minute she came on, you were just like, oh, I love this.
I was just, yeah.
So
I was like, oh my God, who's she?
Yeah.
And I need to talk to her, and I think I poked you and I said, we need to talk about her in our podcast.
And that's Josephine Lee. So tell us.
Yeah, Josephine Lee. Hopefully you see the photos if you're looking at it right now. Well, she skated to, I think, was one of the most gorgeous costumes that I saw on the women in the 2026 U.S. Nationals. She skated her free skate to Scheherazade by Rimsky-Korsakov in this costume. And it's like a royal blue with black ombre costume with nude illusion at the body, but then off the shoulder, crisscross over the bust, straps, just draped beautifully, gathered beautifully, and then this stunning, just jeweled, sequined necklace of a thing over her neck and her plunging neckline, and then on the nude illusion sleeves as well, and a little bit of an asymmetrical skirt. The color, that royal blue with the black ombre, but then those jewels. It was otherworldly. And then on top of it, she accessorized by wearing matching jeweled, like a necklace, but over her head.
Yeah.
Like a crown, like a headdress. I mean, oh! And then I was so excited to see that. I wonder who designed and created it. Well, of course, it was Lisa McKinnon.
Yeah.
It was her costume.
And we're not just trying to choose Lisa McKinnon.
No!
Costumes is just what we responded to.
Yeah. We loved it. And, she wasn't one of the top skaters, but costume-wise, she was.
And maybe in the future. Okay, well, somebody who was a top skater.
Yeah.
From the men. And we haven't talked about him, have we?
I don't think so. Yeah.
I don't feel like we have.
Yeah.
Andrew Torgashev. Yes. And he skated, I'm just going to say he skated to a medley of songs.
Yeah.
Because these songs I don't really, particularly didn't know what they were.
Oratoris by Apache.
Yeah.
And Good News by Apache, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, okay.
And the costume, I don't know if it reflected those songs.
Right.
But it was a beautiful costume.
That even in our seats, now we didn't have nosebleed seats.
No.
But even in our seats, and this is where costume design is so important and such a unique thing, because it's got to stand out. It's got to stand out in the ice. And this, as simple and lean, it was all black, but it got our attention. attention.
It gets your attention.
It gets your attention.
Yeah. It was a black top with black pants. The top was long sleeve, and it did have mesh sides, which was great because the star of the costume was these gold and silver beads that were sort of a wave pattern down the arms and down the front, which created a V, which really made his shoulders broader. He's a tiny little guy, so it really made him stand out. And he had the black gloves, which extended his arms all the way down. And I love this style of costume. I really do. I appreciate somebody who tends to be a bit more masculine in their approach to skating. I appreciate that they still wear a costume that has the important essence of what a figure skating costume should have.
As opposed to like a black shirt.
Yes.
And black pants, like just a black shirt that you could have bought at I don't know, Target.
Yeah. And I understand that costumes aren't for everybody. And you might not be as interested in that whole aspect of figure skating as others are. But that is part of figure skating.
And this is a lesson to y'all, or whoever design, to the skaters and costume, that you can do this and still find that way of not looking overtly theatrical figure skating costume meme looking, but satisfy that lean masculine look, but still have an impact. And this is how you do it, just by those gold details. Was just it.
And that's exactly it. It's the impact. You are a top level skater. You are going to the Olympics, or at the moment he was wearing this, he was attempting to get to the Olympics. And a costume like this helps you get there. Trust me. It is part of the package that makes you look like you are one to go to the Olympics.
Because you belong. You look like you belong.
You look like you belong. And trust me, if anybody knows that, which I've been so excited about, it's Ilya.
Ilya Malin. Oh, yeah.
He has embraced it.
Has turned it up. Turned it up and changed. So you can tell. Like somebody somewhere, whether it was him or his team, somebody is like, no, we can't. We gotta make you look like the winner.
Exactly.
And appearances, kids.
Yep. And for an international audience. Because every country certainly has their own style, but they all have a very presentational style. And, between the U.S. and Canada, it does tend to get a bit more sporty. But when you are presenting to those international judges, it's part of it. It's part of the whole thing. Okay.
Well, thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. On to pairs. And we have talked about Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea.
Oh, we love them.
Yes, we love them.
We love them heart.
Yeah, and we talked about their free skate, but we wanted to mention their short program because it was really a great interpretation. Their costumes were a great interpretation of the theme of their skate, which was overcoming adversity, an unexpected partnership, embodying resilience. And so it was inspired by kintsugi, which is mending a broken pottery with gold, which is a Japanese art. So this is a form of art where you take, it's now you can buy these kits. And you take a beautiful piece of pottery.
And throw it on the ground and break it. But then put it together?
Yes, and then mend it with beautiful gold leaf paint, with gold, almost, to me, they look like lightning bolts or strikes.
I think it's more like they look like veins.
Veins.
Like veins. That's going through, which kind of makes sense in terms of like, because I think this embodies putting a body together. And so like the veins.
That's a better.
If you think of the pottery as the heart, I think the gold leaf is sort of the veins. I'm just getting all into it. Whether or not that is what it is, but that's what I'm thinking of it.
Well, they were beautiful. They were an eggplant color. And they were ombre. They had these gold cracks, veins, as Nick said, that went across the body that represented the mending of the pottery.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. And Danny's gold went all the way down that eggplant top into his black pants, down his leg, and Ellie's went across her nude mesh back. Hers was a one shoulder, very more delicate, with its chiffon texture,
right?
And it was beautiful, and such a great idea, interpretation of the theme, and of course it was great that they too made it to the Olympics.
They did. They made it to. Congratulations! Yes. I loved this. I loved especially the back on Ellie's costume and how the gold leaf kind of continued.
Yeah.
Whether I don't know if it's trim, sequins, rhinestones, crystals, whatever, it continued onto the back, especially in her spine, through the back, the nude illusion back. I thought that was pretty gorgeous. So both of them, these were outstanding. And I loved, again, we love when pairs pair together costume wise, as opposed to once again you see the guy in black, and then you see the girl in bubblegum pink, or something, and it's like okay, did you like lose all the costume budget just on her? But this, I love it because it pairs them. They're pairs.
Yes.
All right, who's next?
Okay, on to Ice Dance, and we have another costume change, which I had a feeling.
That's why we're highlighting it here.
Yes.
Because we've talked about a lot of... Go back to our podcast. We've talked about Chalk and Bates and Miss Flamenco and other Ice Dance costumes and stuff.
And we've actually talked about Chalk and Bates twice. So I think we've done it. We've done it.
Okay.
So we wanted to highlight Emily Brady and Ian Somerville and their rhythm dance to Vogue by Madonna. And another reason I kind of wanted to highlight them was because their unexpected score, which was really big. They got a huge score. They could not even believe that they were scored that high. They had an amazing skate. I will say he is the star of that program. I mean, he really is.
Couldn't take my eyes off of him.
Amazing.
I mean, he was on fire. Like, he was giving you face, and he was giving you long lines, and it was just a standout. And this sometimes happens, especially with Ice Dance, where a lot of times it's one or the other. Sometimes it's both, like Chalk and Bates or et cetera, Guillaume, et cetera. But it was him. And what's interesting is I wonder if the costumes helped, because she was originally in a jumpsuit that had black spandex pants that were very high-waisted, that were beaded around the waist, and then a halter white top that was lace with a black tie. And it did have a Madonna feel to it, but in a way, it drew your eye to her because he was all black and she had a white top. Where what they switched to, he kept the same. He had a black mesh top. Very sexy,
see-through. And he had, what would you say, a harness?
Like a harness.
A leather harness.
A leather harness wrapped around
his shoulders.
And back.
And came down and sort of attached to suspenders. But really a striking costume. And what they did was they had her change to a black dress. So they were both in black. So it did unify them more. And it had a corsetry detail down the front, and it had nude illusion, black nude illusion along the sides, and it had a essence of Madonna and her cone bra corset dress that she wore in that iconic,
with all the seaming,
it was,
but without the cone
bra, but it had the essence of that iconic costume that she wore in the Blonde Ambition tour. And like I said, it helped unite them, but give him that light that he deserved.
I'm like, where are you going
putting
with this?
The spotlight on him, which I don't know if that was part of helping the score. They probably, I'm sure they had plenty of time between the Grand Prix and this Nationals to change the routine and do all sorts of things. So obviously that was the number one thing, but I would like to think this helped a little too.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't have changed it if they didn't think they needed to.
Right. So now, because we think that he stands out so much, like, don't you think that it would make sense to make her stand out costume-wise as opposed to blend in?
No, because I think...
Argue me.
Your eye was on her.
Oh, okay.
When your eye should be on him, and he was fading
like,
away.
Look over here. Got it. Like, look over here, because that's actually where the magic, where the hamburger is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the fries; it's a hamburger you need.
And I think her costume, to me, was drawing your eye to her.
Look at you.
Yeah, and she wasn't the star; he was the star, and so it made you go, "Wow, look at that sexy costume he's wearing."
Look at him.
Yeah. So I don't know, and I don't know what the costume designers or their reason was for changing.
Right.
But to me, it helped.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
We love Madonna.
We love Madonna.
I'll just end it there.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madonna.
Thank you. It was a great skate.
And, we heard that a lot of these people, they have to choose the music and then they have to clear the music. So Madonna is allowing her music, and you have to pay. You have to pay a lot, sometimes a lot of money. And sometimes, US FSA don't got that money, or the skaters and their coaches. So Madonna, thank you, Madonna, for allowing your music to be skated to.
Yes.
So I hope that your fee isn't that high. Yeah, I would think your fee would be high because you're Madonna. But okay.
All right. Well, so the one last thing that we wanted to highlight was something very cute and sweet, which, as costume fans and now really not just being costume fans, but costume experts about this season's costumes,
I know.
We spotted something right away. So the very last day, after all the skates were done, they usually do an exhibition on Sunday, and this was switched. So while it was still an exhibition of sorts, it was also called Making the Team. It was a live event that aired on NBC and Peacock, and they announced the entire team. And while
the Olympic team, not just the team, kids, the 2026 figure skating Olympic team. So, and everyone, and once again, all 40,000 people in the audience, they put down their chicken tenders, honey, for this, and they were there up to the nosebleed seats.
And so they announced them each one by one. And although, of course, so if you were a winner of the event, of your discipline, you knew you were going. You had an instant ticket.
Right.
Instant ticket. But the other spots, there is a rule, a guideline of how those members are chosen to the team. And it's not just by medaling at the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. So you never know. Right. Of course, everybody wanted Jason Brown to go. He did not have a good skate.
He placed 8th, right?
Yeah, it was not a good skate, as we all know at this point. Yeah.
But there were these lovely young girls in front of us. They were big figure skating stands. Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah.
They were TikToking throughout the whole. I was like, how much bandwidth do you have? I was looking at. I was like, I don't have that much space on my phone. The kids these days, they were bawling.
They were crying
throughout the whole entire Jason Brown. I know we're not discussing. We're not. This is not about Jason Brown. But those girls were crying.
And so that that made it exciting for the making of the team for the Olympics, because there were other reasons you could make the team. And people thought, well, maybe they would put Jason Brown on the team. Right. You know, that we had some issues with getting your citizenship.
Yes.
So the winners of the pairs event could not go.
Right.
Who were they going to place? You know, it didn't have to follow.
It wasn't so cut and dry.
Yeah,
so there were some, you know, like who's going to be the third runner-up? Who's going to be the second? You know, like you said, the winner was kind of known.
Yeah.
You know, but there were instances where like, oh, I wonder who are they going to pick?
Yeah. So as they called them out one by one, you know, you got excited and you say, yay! And as they called out the ice dance team of Zingis and Kolesnik, we noticed something
immediately.
Emilia was wearing.
Yeah.
And that was Amber Glenn's free skate costume from, she had 2 free skate costumes through the season.
Designed and created by
Lisa McKinnon.
Thank you.
And she stated that she would choose to wear one or the other based on her mood.
Depending on her mood.
And so she did through the season.
Yeah.
And so we got to see both in skating.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I don't know the reason. They can tell us if they want. Emily.
DM us. Emilia Zingis and Vadim Kolesnik, please.
And she was wearing Amber's skating costume, and this was the one that it was. They were both the same color, right?
Basically. I think that Lisa McKinnon described it as navy blue, but it was. I thought it looked more royal, kind of like a deep purple.
It had blue. A very, very deep purple, blue, deep purple feel to me. And it was chiffon. It was draped across the body, the front of the body, but then it had an open back that had beautiful crystals that came across the back.
Yeah.
And there she was.
There she was. I was like, wait. I've seen this before, Daddy Dad. I was like, wait, hold up. And I was like, that's Amber Glenn's first free skate costume. I think she wore it at Nebelhorn. Yeah. And then she changed, you know, and that's what she talked about. She's like, you know, depending on how I feel, do I want fettuccine or do I want ravioli, you know? But I swear, she done gave it to Emilia.
Well, it just shows you how sweet Amber is. Such a great person.
I mean, she probably like texted her. She's like, hey, girl. She's like, I need a costume for the making of the team if I make the team because I didn't bring one and I wasn't ready. And Amber's like, I got you.
Or maybe something happened to the costume, you know, a rip, a bad zipper or something, and Amber was like, here you go. here I just happen to have my other costume.
So wonderful, right?
Yeah.
So wonderful. And it was in addition to meeting Lisa McKinnon, in addition to being there for such a historic event as the championships, meeting so many of our Fashion Daddy fans.
Yeah.
You know, so many people came up to us. I mean, yes, a lot of people recognized me from Project Runway and they were like, oh my God, I love you. But then it was so cute when they actually said, oh my God, I listened to your podcast.
Yeah.
I love your figure skating podcast and your comments and this and that. So it was wonderful. This was so exciting.
Yeah. So next up, while Europeans is this week, we'll see if maybe we do a little of that. Yeah. But if we don't, the Olympics for sure.
Milano Cortina.
And that's just around the corner. So stay tuned.
Wait, we were supposed to go on a diet, but it's like, how can I not watch the Milano Cortina Olympics without having
fettuccine?
Yeah, something.
Well,
bolognese.
A cheat day. How about
just one? We'll see.
Okay, well, more iStyle coming soon. So until then,
keep watching or listening.
Bye.
Bye. Happy skating. The Fashion Daddies is created and hosted by David Paul and Nick Varios. It's produced, edited, sound mixed, and scenic designed by David Paul. I'm just here to entertain.